This thing is beautiful. This is the ASUS ZenBook S16. It's only 1.1 centimeters thick. It weighs 1.5 kilos. It is like a glimpse into the present future of Windows laptops, and you've just got to be impressed. ASUS is one of many brands obviously now jumping right into this AI PC generation. This is a Copilot Plus PC, which means it has all of those Windows 11 features which Microsoft has been pushing so hard over the last few months because of what's packed inside this. So this is an AMD processor. This is their Ryzen AI processor, which, you know, it's, I think the HX370 is what they call it, with their Radeon graphics. But the NPU, the neural processing unit in this, is capable of up to 50 trillion operations per second, 50 tops as they call it. And that means that it's capable of doing a lot of that AI processing right here on board. Now look, Copilot Plus is, I think, a very early generation thing. I think from a Windows software perspective, the advantages of it are very limited right now, because some of the fun things you can do, like image generation, co-creation, and those things are phenomenal. But I'm yet to see them kind of jumping into my daily life. But having a little bit more of that Copilot AI on board, rather than using the cloud, is starting to really become, I think, a selling point for these kinds of devices. So this packs all of that punch. Now, design-wise, this finish here is what they call ceruleum. A little bit too American, because we would say ceruluminium, but it's this ceramic, aluminium, composite material that they've created, which gives it a really nice look. Like it kind of looks like a speckled look on it. It's this matte feeling without any friction. Look, I can see a little bit of fingerprinting going on, and I've been using this pretty intensively for the last couple of weeks. So I think that's not too unimpressive, and I do love what they've done here with this ASUS A logo, and just a subtle little ASUS ZenBook up here in the corner in that chrome trim, and I think that gives it that premium look. This is a premium laptop. Retail price $3,499. It's not going to be for your high school kids. Let's just put that right out there. But I do think for the average professional, this is an outstanding laptop for day-to-day, work from home, commute life, because at 1.5 kilos, it's crazy light. Now, port-wise, I mean, this thing has headphones, HDMI, and 2 USB-C on the side, which is, that's all the ports you need. But then let's pop over here, and we've got a standard USB as well as an SD card slot as well. So port-wise, you're not lacking a thing. And I just honestly can't get past how well they've done to bring down the form factor in size and weight and all those things. In really quick everyday usage, you get a very quick restart. You saw how long it was closed for there, and it comes back up. But I have noticed if I shut it down overnight, for example, and turn it back on, I feel like it's rebooting. So that's my only probably criticism of the device, is I feel like now and then Windows is trying to reboot. It doesn't feel like a full reboot. It's the ASUS logo that appears on the screen, but that's really my only observation of it right now. It's not even a criticism, because it's still a very quick process. But yeah, instant resume is excellent. Design-wise on the inside here, it's hard to see, but these are absolutely beautiful CNC engineered holes. Now, why do you need CNC engineered holes, you ask? Well, you really don't. They are a beautiful look, but they're a cooling. They're part of the cooling of this device. There are 3,522 of those CNC machined cooling vents. And see, what they are is they're not just a hole, and I think that's what's important about them. They're not just a hole that is a vent. They're this kind of hole with another hole on top that's offset, so it has this really nice look to it. And look, I think things like that matter for a $3,500 device with just a nice subtle little premium ASUS logo there. Keyboard is beautiful to touch. It's a very soft type, but I feel very comfortable with it. The trackpad is enormous and does have some smart gestures on it too. I would say, to be honest, I found it, I primarily been using a MacBook Pro over the last few months before this. And so I feel like I'm adjusting to a very different type of trackpad. I feel this is more comfortable for me as a tap to click than a press to click, but both those options are available to you. There's a bunch of smart gestures you can use on the trackpad as well to minimize to the desktop, to bring back your apps, and a whole range of things like that. So swiping, multiple fingers between your apps like Alt Tab works so well. Like I'm just swiping between apps here and it works really, really well. This is Wi-Fi 7. So here in the office, I've got Wi-Fi 7. This goes to that whole point of if you're future-proofing your home or office, this is a device that is the explanation of why you need to think about having Wi-Fi 7, because you put in Wi-Fi 7, this takes advantage of that extra bandwidth, that extra speed and priority on the network. So not a bad little thing to do there. There's a bunch of privacy protection here, which, Windows Passkey, Microsoft Pluton, the IR webcam. There's a bunch of reasons why this has privacy at its fore. But let's not look past this absolutely stunning OLED screen, right? This is beautiful. This thing is magnificent in every way. It is OLED, 3K, it really pops. 16-inch touchscreen 3K display. It's hard to fault. Now, battery life-wise, they claim 22 hours on this. I've done some screenshots in our full review that show that I think I lost about 50% in about 9 hours just sitting it here at full brightness, no eco mode, streaming live off YouTube. So that's doing a lot of things. That's using the screen at full brightness. It's bringing in content live, so it's actually using the bandwidth of the Wi-Fi and everything as well. Whereas the 22 hours would be local, mid like 75% brightness. There's probably a metric around that. So I think, bottom line, this is an absolute all-day battery. It's going to be one of those ones where you've got to remember that you do need to charge every second day and don't leave that charger at home. Charge it every night, you're going to be fine. Charge it at the desk for a few hours because it's also got some pretty rapid charging involved. It's a beautiful device. You'll find it at Harvey Norman. I believe it's coming to JB's, but Harvey Norman have it right now, as does the ASUS website. $3,499. Look, it's a lot of money for a laptop. I get that, but this, I think, creates that premium look that you want when you're spending that much money and someone says, oh, what's that? That's part of the appeal of this just gorgeous design that they've created here with the ASUS ZenBook S16. This is the AMD entry into the Copilot Plus era. I love the Windows Hello that has facial recognition. This is ASUS's first generation with the AMD, and I can only imagine what's to come. ASUS have a range of different models and products coming, like the ProArt series, as well as the ROG Zephyrus series as well. So there's a lot going on at ASUS, but this as a premium office productivity workforce device is an absolute winner. I've done Adobe Premiere editing on here with exporting. I was surprised that Premiere was already working on this processor level, this AI processor level, which is fantastic. App compatibility was a win. I mean, I've been doing some editing on really powerful machines, and I think this did it in almost half the time, and it's a laptop, a Windows laptop running the AMD AI processor. So this is serious performance that I can take on the road with me for not just spreadsheets and Word documents, but video and photo editing on this are absolutely possible, though you might also consider their ProArt series for that when that kicks into the market. Beautiful device. I think for Windows users, this is an absolute stunner. Got all the potential, and I think it's got the potential to bring people back to Windows from Mac as well. So there's a lot going on here with this device. The ASUS ZenBook S16, it's an absolute winner from me. At $3,500, it's probably above a few people's budgets, but I think if you're in that price range, or you can push a little bit to that price range, you're gonna be very happy with what you get right here.